Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League. Fantasy Premier... I've completely lost what I was going to say. Welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for Fantasy Premier League content for the 2020-21 season. There we go, we got there. How's everyone doing today? The game has not quite finished. I know there's still stoppage time left, but I thought I'd go with the stream anyway, and you know we can just talk about that as things happen, assuming anything else happens in the last minute of the game. But yeah, I thought we would start. So wildcard week, bit of a failure for me. Not great. Not great overall. Good job wildcards are for more than 1 week, really, not for 1 week only. Sterling captain failed. No hat today. Yeah, that's right. Why not? Jota fail, Rashford fail, Kane fail, Phillips fail, Mendy fail, Castan fail. It was pathetic. And Cedric didn't even play. I mean, you know, I was thinking, there is no way Saka plays at left back now. He's not played at left back for so long. He's playing so well, playing further up the pitch. You know, we've got Odegaard out. So Saka's not going to play at left back. So it's fine. Cedric will have to play at left back for Arsenal. And guess who plays at left back? Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka plays at left back for Arsenal. I couldn't believe it. I thought Cedric nailed on. That would have been a lovely extra few points there. Lovely extra few points there. But never mind. Wasn't to happen. Rashford, I would say, failed. But it didn't really, because I put Rashford in instead of Bruno Fernandes and they both got the same amount of points. So, really, that's not a failure. And, Vidra was nice to have on the bench, just in case, not that he's coming off. It's a difficult game week, really. Because, yes, Lingard, Iheanacho absolutely smashed it. Excellent. We love that. I think most people's captains failed. You know, whether you're on Jota, Kane, Bruno... These are kind of some of the main captains. The only player out of the main captains that kind of did well was Salah. People captain Vardy as well. Blank. So yeah, Pavan Rothod said Cedric was woeful against Slavia. That's why. Yeah, I completely agree. But so woeful that you put in Granit Xhaka at left back instead. I don't know about that one. And to be fair, Arsenal fans across the world weren't overly enthusiastic about that. And if Arsenal were playing anyone other than Sheffield United, I think Cedric plays. I don't think you can play Granit Xhaka at left back against just anyone. But never mind. The wildcard team is set up for more than 1 game week. It's the one that probably makes me the most salty. The most salty thing in the whole game week is all of the points people are getting from Dallas. Not because they started Dallas, but because they thought, I'm going to have to keep Dallas. Let's just put Dallas third on my bench. A lot of people did that. And then KDB doesn't play. DCL doesn't play. Antonio doesn't play. We knew that. Aubameyang doesn't play. James Maddison doesn't play. And suddenly, the third bench option of Dallas comes onto the pitch and gets you however many points it was. Huge amounts of points. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I think luck has played a big factor in this game week, which is fine. That happens a lot. That does happen a lot. I'm not saying I did badly because of luck. I did badly because I took a punt on a few players and it didn't come off. And, you know, that's what happens. The Dallas thing, though, that is jammy. That is a little bit jammy. But never mind. Fair play, guys. I'm sure like some of you guys who did have Dallas on your bench would have been over the moon when you started seeing all your players not playing. Sure, they'll be over the moon. Full-time 0-0. Thank you very much, Dan Cross. So that's that. Clean sheets all round. I think that hurts my rank, if I'm honest. Well, no, it keeps it about what I've put on screen. But yeah, not to worry. Al Capul says Arteta hinted that Xhaka might actually continue at left back now. Depends who we're playing. He's so slow. You know, any team with a fast right winger, and I don't know if. Well, would you count Fulham as that? Maybe. Any team with a fast right winger is going to absolutely obliterate Granit Xhaka. So I wouldn't be too convinced that Xhaka's going to be playing there every week. But there you go. Yes, at least I had Kelechi Iheanacho and Jesse Lingard, the two legends of the game week. Yeah, someone's just pointed out my first wildcard draft did better. Yeah, it did, which kind of made me think, oh, why did I not just stick with the first wildcard draft? The thing is, the only reason, well, not the only reason, but one of the reasons I changed my first wildcard draft is because the feedback was just so. Everyone was like, you need to change up your defense. The defenders I had from my original game, my original draft, was, you know, like Veltman, clean sheet, Holding, clean sheet, and bonus. So my original, you know, had Salah captain, but that's like completely on me. Yeah, the original wildcard drafted pretty well. So, yeah, as always, my tips seem to be working. Yeah, my actual team is a bit hit and miss, but I haven't got red arrows or anything. I've still got, you know, a slightly above average game week rank. You know, it's definitely not time for panic. And like I say, the wildcard draft is built. It is built for more than one game week. And we've still got Jesse ready to go against Newcastle. We've got Iheanacho ready for some more hauls, maybe against West Brom. The West Brom, that was interesting today, wasn't it? West Brom winning 3-0. Who would it? Well, it did finish 3-0, unless because I actually, to be fair, I didn't watch that game because I thought it looked ridiculous. It sounded like it was going to be a really boring game. I thought I'd play a bit of Xbox instead, so I didn't watch that. Yeah, it did finish 3-0. I probably should have checked that before the stream. Yeah, that's crazy. West Brom now, 2 games in a row. People are going to absolutely be flying in with those Callum Robinson transfers in and the Matthews Pereira transfers in. Well, that's fine, because at least they're not transferring in Lingard then, because he is the guy. And Iheanacho, of course, 2 legends of a lot of people's fantasy teams at the moment, to be fair. We are liking them a lot. Guys, I may as well show you how I'm set up for next game week, and you won't be too surprised to know that it looks pretty good. I have obviously done my wildcard with, to be fair, the rest of the season in mind, really. And this is kind of how it's looking. So, yeah, you can see that on screen there. Should we maybe move it down a bit so you can see who I'm benching as well? So yes, here we go. We've got Mendy against Brighton. Brighton can't score. They proved that again. Sanchez, is he going to come back into the Spurs team? I was a little bit worried that Sanchez wasn't in the Spurs team against Manchester United, but then I watched Spurs and it was kind of like, okay, yeah, maybe he comes back in. So yes, Sanchez double game. Maybe he only plays 1. Let's see. But Shaw against Burnley, very nice. Castani against West Brom. Before today, I would have said that was very nice. But we'll see what happens there. Lingard against Newcastle, interesting indeed. Rashford against Burnley, I do really like. It was a shame because I put in Rashford thinking Rashford's going to be playing on the left. And he'd be a really nice matchup against either Aurier or Tanganga, depending on who Spurs played at there. But then Rashford actually started the game on the right, didn't he? He had his best chance of the game from the right, which is a bit disappointing. Maybe I didn't see that coming. Pogba coming in and playing on the left. Oh well. Anyway, Rashford to be continued. We've got this game against Burnley, which is very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do there. Jota, Salah against Leeds. Again, I mean, that was another surprising one, wasn't it? Because I really did think Man City would wipe the floor with Leeds. I thought Sterling was on for a huge one. Didn't happen, but no worries there. Jota and Salah against Leeds. We still probably like that, don't we? I would say. Yeah. Iheanacho against West Brom is excellent. And then Kane. I mean, guys, if you're not captaining Kane, then what are you doing? You gotta. If you're not captaining Kane in game week 32, you're an absolute lunatic, a genuinely absolute lunatic. Sterling is, of course, going to be my transfer out. I did talk about it a little bit last week, actually, that Sterling was going to be my 1 week captain punt, and then I'm going to switch him to Son. So that is what's going to happen. So he's going to go to Son. Then I'm technically tripled up on Spurs players, although Sanchez is a bit dodgy, isn't he? We'll see what happens there. But then I have Kane captain, Son vice captain, and blah, 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 blah. Hopefully loads of points from that. Although, to be fair, I don't think it's going to matter too much. Unless you're triple captaining Kane, I honestly don't think there's much to gain from captaining Son. You only captain Son to captain Kane. You'd only captain Kane really to cover yourself, because everyone's going to be doing it. There isn't going to be a single person, unless you're sort of like, maybe, I would say, unless your rank is sort of 500,000th or worse, you're not really going to benefit from captaining Kane at all. But you have to do it anyway. You just have to do it. It's got to be done. If Iheanacho, someone says, is Iheanacho going to play? Yes, he is. If someone's going to be dropped, it's going to be Vardy. He's kind of out of form. He's a little bit older. Perhaps he would need the rest a little bit more. Iheanacho, I don't think you can drop right now. I think he's undroppable. He's just in such good form. He's playing so well. It's really good, actually. It's really exciting to see the Niger boy in full swing. So not too worried about that. Guys, if you have your triple captain chip, man, go for it. Go for it on Harry Kane. Honestly, that is probably the most sensible triple captain you could possibly do, is to triple captain Kane in Game Week 32. And you know what? By triple captaining him is pretty much the only way you're going to gain off Kane points as well. If Kane scores, like, every time Kane scores in Game Week 32, if you've captained him, it's going to be like, okay, whatever. That's not really helped my rank at all. If you've not captained Kane and Kane scores, you're going to lose rank. You're going to go downhill every time Kane scores, if you've not captained him, by so much as well. It really is that important to captain Kane. It's so, Southampton's performance today, definitely some goals could be scored against them. Everton's defence I don't really rate. I know they kept the clean sheet today, but it's against Brighton, who are just incapable of scoring goals. Yeah. So guys, yeah, go for it. Triple captain Kane. Why not? Should I get Iheanacho in for Bamford or Watkins? I don't know. Maybe Bamford. Watkins has got a game. Well, I was going to say Watkins has a good fixture against West Brom in Game Week 32, but is this West Brom's, like, and is this their resurgence? Are they going to somehow survive the drop? Could happen. Lingard against Newcastle could outscore Kane as captain. I don't agree. This is Lingard in one fixture. Remember, the West Ham have a very counter-attacking style of football, and that is what's been benefiting Lingard so much. And if they play against Newcastle, a team that doesn't leave their own half, just sits everyone behind the ball, there's not really going to be, even an attack. Newcastle don't attack, do they? They send like 2 men up to attack and hope something happens. Against Newcastle, I don't think it's an ideal fixture for Lingard, if I'm honest. I don't think it's an ideal fixture for West Ham in general. Now, I'm not saying that Lingard is not going to score. I'm not saying Lingard's not going to assist. He definitely has that in his locker. He's definitely, he's scoring wonder goals. It could definitely happen, absolutely. But I would not be as confident in Lingard in this game as perhaps I was in previous games. And that's coming from someone who has had a lot of faith in Lingard for weeks and weeks now. But, I just think I don't think it's an ideal matchup there, West Ham against Newcastle. Obviously, it looks like a good fixture on paper, but you got to also think about the style of the two teams and how that's gonna match up. So I'm not saying Lingard is a bad pick at all. No way, he's a great pick. But is he going to outscore Kane on two fixtures? Surely not. And even if you think that there's a chance that he does, don't take that risk. Guys, you'll know that I've been all about the risky captains for weeks and weeks and weeks. Absolutely, I've been trying to do sensible risks. Well, maybe not even sensible risks. Some of them have been a bit crazy. But captaining anyone other than Kane this game week is just FPL suicide. It really is. It's not even about taking a risk. You're just being stupid. Like, I really don't know how to frame it any other way. I cannot get behind it at all. There is not a single captain I could possibly even slightly recommend other than Kane. If you want to take the biggest punt you could take is on Son. But even that is kind of still a bit silly. And even if someone, does outscore Kane, it doesn't change the fact that going into the game week, it's more likely that Kane's going to score points. We could say, oh, I shouldn't have put who scored, conceded one goal. I shouldn't have put Castan in my FPL team this game week. I should have played Dallas instead. Very easy to say after the fact. But who was betting on Dallas points this game week? No one was. And if you were, then you're just kind of wrong, because the odds of Dallas getting points in that game week was so low. But this is what I'm saying. After the fact, maybe someone does outscore Kane, and we will all say, "Oh, I wish I captained someone else. That would have been a great differential." But it doesn't change the fact that looking forward to the game, it's a bad decision. So yeah, guys, Captain Kane, triple Captain Kane. If you've got triple captain, absolutely endorse this one. Go for it. A few people saying, should I get Son? Should I, take a -4 for Son? Yeah, I do feel like you could take a -4 to bring in Son. It's a double game week, man. The points that Son gets is kind of minimum 4 anyway, right? So that could be pretty interesting. Even if you're a minus points, you're not really taking minus, are you? Because you'll make the points back. What I would say, guys, is do remember game week 33, both City and Spurs blank. So don't load up on Man City and Spurs players too much. Even Southampton as well. Southampton blanking game week 32. There's one other team. No, not 32. Yeah, no, 33. I mean, sorry. One other team blanking in game week 33. Who is it? Let's find out. Is it Burnley? No. Should probably know this. Maybe someone in the chat can say. It's a team that doesn't matter. It's a team that, it'd be like Fulham or someone. We're not really looking at their assets anyway. In fact, I think it is Fulham. But I'm sure someone in the chat will confirm that. So yeah, do remember that, guys, that there is going to be some missing players. So do try and don't go all in on, don't take out take out a City player and put in a Spurs player, fine. But if you're taking out another player, if you're taking out a Jota to put in Son or something like that, and now you suddenly realise you've got 3 Man City players and 3 Spurs players, you're going to find yourself in a bit of trouble. Unless you've got a free hit, of course. Unless you've got a wild card, you're going to find yourself in a bit of trouble. There you go. Fulham in the chat. That's confirmed. But yeah, you could maybe take a punt on Son as a captain, but I still don't really like it. You would be taking a huge risk, and you would have to accept that huge risk. Outside of that, it's just ridiculous risk. On a double game week, it's just captain the double game week player. Always captain the double game week player. But we'll see. We will see. Fulham and Southampton, let's confirm that. Salah captain against Leeds. I mean, no, not really. I don't think so. You saw Leeds play last week. I mean, it's the double game week. Even if Salah scores once or twice, you're like excellent. Kane not only has 4 points just for playing, 2 full 90 minutes to get an opportunity to score against one of the teams, by the way, Southampton, one of the worst teams in the league. But on top of that, and this is the big thing, he's got 2 opportunities to get bonus points as well. Salah can score 4 goals. He is maxed out at 3 bonus points. Kane can score, 1 goal in each game and get 3 bonus points from each of those. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily a great comparison, but two opportunities to get points just for playing, 2 opportunities to get points, bonus points. double the amount of time to score a goal, double the amount of time to get an assist. It's just double game week players just outscore single game week players, especially when we're talking about a premium. We're talking about Harry Kane. We're not even talking about, you know, if it was like, okay, Lucas Moura, Harry Kane's injured, Son's injured, and you've got Lucas Moura, and we're saying, oh, Lucas Moura's got the double game week. We'd probably say, okay, yeah, fair enough, he's got a double game week, he's a fairly decent player, but actually maybe we can look elsewhere. Dan Cross says, odds on Kane getting injured in the first half of the match. I think that's bringing back memories of last season with Sadio Mane getting injured in the first game, which was just tragic. A lot of people triple captained him there. I mean, not much better than my triple captain last year. My triple captain last year was Aubameyang. He had a double game week against West Ham and Man City, I believe. He blanked in the first game. And it was like, okay, fair enough. Well, at least he plays City and we got a chance of him playing against City and getting a few more points. So 2 points in the first game. What did he get in the second game? Well, he got no points in the second game because the Premier League was postponed. The whole Premier League got postponed and the Man City game was cancelled for Arsenal. Absolute joke. Absolutely crazy, but that's last season. This season, Gundogan triple captain worked pretty well. Even though he got injured in the first game. Maybe there's just a curse of triple captains getting injured in the first game. Guys, by the way, I don't know how many members there are in here, but we've got Lingard emoji. What is their key you press to do an emoji? Is it slash or colon or exclamation mark? But yeah, there are Lingard's emojis. So yeah, throw some of them in the chat. Come on, we've got to see that. Someone said, do you think Reguilon will play the 2 this game week? Possibly. It really depends if Davies is back. Which he could be. Transfer this game week is Sterling out, Son in. Well, I mean, 99% sure, right? Cavani in? No, I don't think so. He's just going to rotate so much. You know, we've got Europa League. There you go. There's some Lingard emojis coming up. Yeah, Europa League as well for Manchester United. It's just not going to be a. It's not going to be a definite starter. On the other hand, Mason Greenwood could be very interesting. Definitely would be considering Mason Greenwood. I kind of wish I already was thinking about Greenwood, but I thought I was taking Bruno Fernandes down to Rashford. I thought, shall I take him all the way down to Greenwood? But then I thought, no, I don't really like that. That's taken too much money out of my midfield, which I don't really want to do. But there we go. Excuse me, guys. Still a little bit ill. But we are marching on. We're marching on. But yeah, Greenwood's definitely a player of interest. I'm doing the buy, sell, keep, avoid video tomorrow. And I usually make a slightly longer list of buys first. And then kind of pick my 2 favourite. I can tell you that Greenwood is on the list. I don't know whether I'm going to go through with recommending him or not. I think I know who's going to be. I'm pretty certain about my avoids. But we won't tease you too much about that. We'll just leave that till tomorrow. Martial is injured though. Yeah, but that's going to mean more opportunities for Greenwood, who might be playing as a striker. You know, Cavani, I just don't think Cavani plays every game. I mean, fair enough, like, Cavani could be a shower. He obviously played really well, and he's obviously a fantastic influence in that Manchester United team. I don't know. I think I prefer Greenwood personally, but I do think you take a rotation risk, you know. We got a super chat from Johnson Hemingway. Thank you very much, man. Would you do Cancelo, Gundogan, and Bamford to Son, Shaw, and Davies for a minus 8 hit, or just do Fernandes to Son for 1 week? Interesting. The thing is, Fernandes against Burnley could score some points. Fernandes, the reason he's not even in my wildcard team is because I'm not that interested in him at the moment. In the short term, Fernandes to Son could just be the one. But at the same time, do I want Gundogan and Cancelo in my team? Probably not. Bamford, I wouldn't mind keeping. I would even consider doing, just maybe doing a -4 and doing Fernandes to Son and Cancelo to Shaw, something like that. That could work. Don't a -8 point is probably not gonna do too much. Not gonna do too much help, to be honest. But Fernandes to Son seems fine, and if you want to reverse it, switch it back next week, then absolutely fine. Fair enough. I understand why you would do that. Because obviously Son doesn't play in game week 33. But remember, Spurs players, if you can hold on to your Spurs players somehow, if you only got a couple, they play Sheffield United in game week 33, which is very nice. Very nice indeed. 33, 34 is what I mean. I'm getting mixed up with all my game weeks. This is what happens when you think too far ahead. It's not that far ahead, is it? Greenwood is an excellent player, but I don't think he'll start every match. No, well, probably not. Probably not every match, but, he came off the bench. Got 2 goal contributions, Someone said maybe give Greenwood a couple of games. Yeah, but in many respects, you snooze, you lose. When, I've taken a punt on Lingard, I've taken a punt on Iheanacho. They've, only really performed for... Well, I mean, at the point where I got Lingard, he'd only really performed for a couple of games, and I sort of saw what I liked a little bit and took the plunge. Iheanacho, kind of the same. I was a little bit more of an obvious transfer, I guess. But yeah, sometimes you see a little bit of what you like and you take the plunge. That's what I like doing anyway. That seems to be a good way of doing your transfers. Blue to Isle, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I've got 5.1 million budget to get in Spurs defence. Only 3 players for that price: Tanganga, Dyer, and Rodon. Who do you think is more likely to get the most time? Probably Rodon, I would say. Dyer, he's in and out. Well, he's been out of the team mostly. He came back into the team for 1 game, didn't really impress. Tanganga is maybe he plays, maybe he rotates with Aurier. Rodon, I think, plays at least one of these games. And if you get lucky, he could play both. I think he's got a genuine chance of playing both. Whereas, Dyer, Tanganga actually have a chance of playing neither. But I would say Rodon plays both. So, yeah, I would go for Rodon out of those 3. Blue 2, I'll go for it, man. And, yeah, fingers crossed that your player plays both, really. So, there you go. Lacazette is on my radar to replace Bamford. Yeah, Lacazette had a good game. Remember, he's against Sheffield United. Lacazette has not impressed me massively prior to that Sheffield United game. I know he has scored a couple of goals, but those goals have been penalties. I think he scored one from open play. I think he's only scored 1 before the Sheffield United game. I think he's only scored 1 from open play in something 10 game weeks or more. So that's not ideal, really. I don't know. Again, that's the kind of situation where you can say, oh, if you like the look of him, take the plunge. But, I don't think he's a surefire bet by any chance. But he should be on your radar. I guess so. What do you think about Cresswell injury? Wait and see. I think with any injuries right now, whether we're talking about DCL, Cresswell, no, he's injured. Wait and see. There's no harm in we're so close to the end of the season, it doesn't really matter. People talk about making transfers early, making sure you don't miss price changes and stuff like that. We're at the end of the season now. The time for building up your team value is kind of in the past in many ways. You can go to game week 38 with a team value that's 0.1 higher, but right now the most important thing is points and information. If you wait a little while and get the best information, wait for the press conferences, which will happen, and we'll get a better update, that can change everything. If Cresswell is going to be back, fantastic. If he's out for even 2-3 weeks, you'll probably say bye-bye Cresswell. Playing at left centre-back. West Ham's defence, I don't really rate anyway at the moment. I don't think I'd be going for any West Ham defenders, really, in terms of bringing them in. So, in that respect, maybe they're a sensible player to take out as well. I would leave them in against Newcastle, of course. Of course I'd leave them in against Newcastle. But if Cresswell is missing against Newcastle, then he's kind of a situation where you might say, yeah, let's go for someone else. That's a lot of money. Let's see what else we can get. Can we get Luke Shaw, for example? That might be a nice player you could bring in for Cresswell. Something like that. Neto is out for the season. Yeah, that did not look nice. Yeah, that's a bit of a shame, really. Unfortunate for those who did bring in Neto, and unfortunate for Neto as well, because he's a good player. Spurs defence, is it worth a -4? I wouldn't say so, no. No, I mean, yeah, it's just that Spurs defence are so rotation prone, which is, to be fair, it's probably part of the reason why they keep conceding so many goals, because they don't have a set defence. They're so rotation prone that you can't even guarantee. There's no defender in that back line who you could guarantee will play both matches. Even Reguilon, because Ben Davies could easily be back for that second game. He could be back for the first game. So there you go. Yeah, Rudiger or Cedric. I don't think I'll be looking at Cedric anymore. Honestly, I don't know if I'd look at Rudiger either, because he's a bit of a rotation risk. Don't know. Replacement for Pope. Well, let's see. Maybe you can go for, I don't know. I mean, I like Mendy, but his good fixtures are running out. Martinez could have a double game week soon. That could be interesting. But Aston Villa don't have great fixtures. Who else is looking good for fixtures? You got Pete Schmeichel, maybe. Think about it. Jack Jones says Butter Gang is back. I don't know what that means, but I love it. I mean, you throw super chats my way, and you can say whatever you like, bro. Thanks, Jack. Bought Lacazette in and Lingard in this week. Lucky AF. Yeah, nice one, man. Nice one. What do you think about Trent Alexander-Arnold? Like him a lot. There is argument to say wait until after the Leeds and who is it they play after that? Is it Manchester United? Maybe wait till after those games. Let's just have a look, see what Liverpool's fixtures are. Oh yeah, they've got Newcastle in between. They got Leeds, Newcastle, Manchester United. Maybe you wait for that last stretch. The thing is, you do have those attacking contributions as well. I don't go into the Leeds game expecting a clean sheet. Maybe against Newcastle. Don't go into the Manchester United game expecting a clean sheet. Depends what you're after. If you think you can get a few assist points, goal points, could be very nice indeed. So I absolutely rate Alexander-Arnold as a transfer in. But if you're not 100% convinced, or you think you can use the money a little bit better elsewhere, I don't think there's too much harm for waiting until game week 35 there. Because that's going to be, by that point, Liverpool potentially out of the Champions League. They might be really, really pushing to come in the top 4 in the Premier League. Could be huge for Liverpool, which is why I've tripled up on Liverpool. I did think about getting Trent, and one thing I'm maybe regretting a little bit is just taking Rashford down to Greenwood, and bringing Phillips up to a Trent, which I didn't even consider doing. I didn't even think of that. I considered, how am I going to get Trent Alexander-Arnold in my team? Thought, not really possible. I thought, should I bring Bruno all the way down, not just to Rashford, but to Greenwood? I thought, yeah, I could do that. But perhaps if I put those two together and realised that by doing that downgrade, I could upgrade Trent, would have perhaps actually gone for it in the end. But, there's no point dwelling on that, really. That's my own fault. You learn. You learn. But guys, I'm going to wrap this up a little bit, because I'm still not top form. My ears are popping a little bit. I'm really congested, all in my face. It's a bit annoying, and my throat is not amazing right now. I've got a quick super chat here. Nidish Manny says, Lucas Moura or Lingard, what should I prefer? Like I was saying earlier, Lingard, I don't think he's going to get another 10-pointer. Tell you what, if he does get another 10-point or more, we won't just have the emoji. We'll have Lingard in my banner on YouTube and on Twitter as well. That'll be fun. Lucas Moura or Lingard. Lucas Moura is a nice 1-week punt. I wouldn't really want to keep him long term. If you fancy a 1-week punt on Lucas Moura, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It could be quite nice. It could pay off. Lingard is Lingard. Lingard is Lingard, however. I don't know. It also depends on what your future transfers is going to be. Do you have enough? Do you like the rest of your team enough where you can afford to take 1 week punts? Lingard is a set and forget. You can just keep him for the rest of the season. Lucas, you'd want him in and out. So he doesn't just cost you 1 transfer. He essentially costs you 2 transfers, you know. Does that count as a -4? It might do. If you end up having to take a -4 at any other point in the season, there you go. There you go, Nadish. Hopefully that helps you out, man. We are going to do, of course, a buy, sell, keep, avoid video tomorrow. Love that video series channels. There we go. It's all good in the hood. Yeah, and then team selection video. I want to do a differentials video as well this week. I made a bunch of new thumbnails, and one of the thumbnails I made was about differentials. So I thought we'll do a differentials video this week as well, because I do like my differentials. I really do. I have quite a lot of fun looking for them as well. So we'll do that. But guys, thank you for watching. Please do like the stream or video, depending on when you're watching it. That would be really appreciated. Of course, if you're new around here, you've not watched this little face before, usually a little bit perkier, usually a little bit more full of spunk, if you like. But yeah, we'll get there. Like, subscribe, of course. Follow me on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching it, guys, and I will see you tomorrow, where we will do a buy, sell, keep, avoid video. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing you guys then. And yeah, I suppose see you later, mates. Bye-bye.